is a daring 90 feet high, the equivalent of an 8-story high-rise.
Had 2 rounds of diving yesterday, and then we'll have 2 rounds of diving today. The women will kick things off. We'll do their athlete presentation and the women's first round or third round of competition. And then we'll follow by the men's presentation and then the men's third round and so on and so forth. Back to the women and back to the men for their fourth and final round. And Joey, all 4 dives, 2 dives yesterday, they count. Everything was added together for the grand total. So you have to be consistent throughout yesterday, obviously, and also today.
Yeah, well said. So today we're going to watch the intermediate round. So that's a step between the easier dives called required dives and the more difficult dives, and we call those ones optional dives. That is where the athletes are really going to start to push the limits. And I have to say, we're looking at some dives now that I thought was not possible 10 years ago. It is just remarkable what these high divers are doing in current day.
Yeah, absolutely. And after yesterday, after 2 rounds of diving, it's the powerful Rhiannon Ifland of Australia who leads the way, and Molly Carlson, second place after 2 rounds yesterday. Simone Leathead from Canada, and she's in third right now after 2 rounds. And on the men's side, Konstantin Popovic with some amazing dives yesterday, putting it down. But how about Carlos Jimeno of Spain sitting second right now, followed by Gary Hunt. If you know diving, if you know cliff diving, you know that name. Gary Hunt sitting in third right now.
Yeah, he's not a bad diver, Gary Hunt.
No, he's all right.
He's okay.
All right. Yeah.
He only won 10 Red Bull Cliff Diving World
okay.
Series title. He's only the reigning World Aquatics high diving champion. But as you said, Konstantin Popovic looking great. Carlos Jimeno, wow. I mean, the athletes put so much work into the preseason as well. A lot of strength and conditioning. So very strong impact here, 85 kilometers per hour. That's about 53 miles per hour, up to 10 G-forces when you hit the water. So imagine that, you're traveling at 53 miles an hour, and then you're stopping, and basically a split second. And if you're wondering how deep the pool is, well, it is 6 meters deep, so it's around about 20 feet.
20 feet, yeah. You know, it's funny, everybody asks that, right? I always like, how deep is the pool? But how deep does it have to be for high diving is the big question.
Look, minimum standards, 5 meters. So when you're traveling that quick, believe it or not, you can actually pull up quite quickly. So in the live broadcast, you'll actually see some great underwater shots. And when it's a great dive, you'll see them going nice and deep, nice and vertical. Obviously, if they're over-rotating off the angle a little bit, you'll see them scoop forwards. But once again, immense impact. This sport is only for the brave.
And of course, a huge thanks to World Aquatics for bringing this High Dive World Cup to Fort Lauderdale. And again, the city of Fort Lauderdale and USA Diving. All the folks, all the volunteers, all of our partners and sponsors, you'll hear that throughout the program. We want to welcome all the folks on our live stream as well on YouTube. And if anybody in the audience or watching right now, send a message out to your friends because we are live, ready to see the best in the world in high diving. You go to World Aquatics YouTube page, you can find it right there. Send the link to your friends, whatever you want to do, but have them tune in. It's going to be awesome.
We've got some former Olympic divers making the transition over to the sport of high diving as well. Victor Ortega Serna, 3 times Olympian. Also Alexei Prigorov, bronze medalist, as a matter of fact, in 3-meter synchronized diving, Beijing Olympics 2008. But that is the caliber that we're looking at, Olympic-style diving to make formidable high divers. And of course, you'll see in this discipline, they're landing feet first. Why? Once again, those speeds are too great to withstand the impact head first.
And we are just a couple minutes away, folks, from getting underway with the women's presentation, the athlete presentation, followed by their third round dive. Once again, 2 rounds went down yesterday. There will be 2 more today per gender. Starting off with the women, followed by the men, back to the women's 4th round, and then capping things off with the men's 4th round. Can't go about this competition without thanking a few of our sponsors and partners. Of course, Memorial Health, Rocket Fizz, TYR, Masters Diving. Met a few of the Masters divers. It's kind of fun to see those guys out here. And then the city of Fort Lauderdale, obviously. Visit Fort Lauderdale. International Swimming Hall of Fame, which is great. I checked that out yesterday. and Indian River State College, of course, USA Diving Foundation, and the Ray Rood Foundation. So a big thanks to all of our partners and sponsors and our friends at Omega for making all the timing and the scores happen. So a big round of applause, you guys, for all of our partners and sponsors. Thank you.
And there wasn't a lot of time to actually prepare for this competition, so it definitely wasn't an easy task to organize everything. So we sincerely thank every single person involved making this event possible. Just moments away from the athletes' presentation. Time check, 10:45 a.m. in the morning. Like a high dive in the say.
That'll wake you up. You've done it before. I mean, you've went 27 meters, 90 feet early in the morning. What's that feel like for all those new to this sport?
You kind of wake up pretty nervous. I tend to not eat breakfast before high diving, so it's a coffee, a little slap of the face, splash the face with a bit of water, and on you go. Up you get, son.
And by the way, I'm Trace Worthington. This is Joey Zuber. We'll be the ones chatting. You'll get tired of us over the next couple hours, but we have a lot of fun and try to make things entertaining for you guys. We also cover the Red Bull Cliff Diving World Series, which is fun to do. And if you guys ever watch that, you see a lot of the divers in that series. But today, it's all about the World Aquatics High Diving World Cup. And very important, a pivotal competition, Joey, for points earned and spots earned towards the World Championships in Japan coming up at the end of July.
Yep, so the World Championships, World Aquatics in Fukuoka, Japan. Unique setup. So they've got a pool that's set up inside the sand on the beach with a fantastic backdrop of the cityscape. But 24 women and 24 men will be the lucky ones to go forward to the World Championships in Fukuoka. So indeed, a very important competition. So let's just ensure we've got all athletes ready in the building area. All the women for the women's 20-meter competition. Athletes presentation coming right up.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, who is ready for the World Aquatics High Diving World Cup 2023? We have to do a little bit better than that. Who's ready for some high diving competition here in Fort Lauderdale?
Yeah.
That's a lot better. All right, for the athlete presentation, let's bring out all of the women competing today. Kicking it off from the United States of America, please welcome Genevieve Sangpan.
Team America. Yep. Our next athlete representing France, Charlotte Herzog.
And representing Germany, the strong diver Anna Bader is here.
And another local girl from the United States of America, Maria Smirnov.
Coming to you from France, folks, please welcome Madeleine Bayonne.
Representing Switzerland, we've got Morgan Herculano.
"31 years old from Denmark, a big hand for Annika Bornebusch.
Hey ho, she's from Mexico, Alejandra Aguilar Tovar.
The strong diver from Canada is down. Amy Harrison is here.
And also from the United States of America, Susanna Fish. Yep.
Coming to you from the Netherlands, 38 years old, Jeannie van Kotvik.
All right. She's an Aussie representing Australia. Give it up for Emily Chinook.
Coming to you from Brazil, please welcome Patricia Valente.
From the United States of America, ladies and gents, give it up for Ellie Smart.
Representing Colombia, make some noise for Maria Paula Cantero.
And from Italy with style, Alyssa Corsetti.
Another athlete, Aussie from down under. Please welcome Xanthia Panizzi.
All right. Representing Germany, Iris Schmidbauer.
We might get a little dance out of this next one if we're lucky. From Canada, Jessica McCauley.
And we've got a big field from the United States of America. Here we have Maylee Carpenter.
And we're getting into the top 3 qualifiers from yesterday's competition after 2 rounds. Please welcome from Canada, Simone Leated.
All right, it's all about the Canadians representing Canada, Molly Carlson.
And the leader after 2 rounds of competition, the powerful diver from down under, Australia's Rhiannon Ifland. How about it, folks? Give it up for all the ladies competing today. We're getting right into the 3rd round of diving, followed by the men. The best in the world right here.
Okay, ladies, that concludes the athletes' presentation. You may proceed to the marshalling area and make your way up the platform. Folks, we're only moments away. Just give them a little time to get their heart settled as they climb that so tall. Wow.
All right, as they make their way up once again, folks, welcome to the World Aquatics High Diving World Cup 2023. We'll bring out Lee Michaud with USA Diving. Lee, come on out here. You have a quick presentation for us. And thanks for having us, by the way. Give it up for Lee, making it happen. He and his entire staff pulling things together. And I tell you what, it hasn't been easy pulling everything together, but you guys are doing an outstanding job. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You're right. It has not been easy, but thank you for recognizing that. Throughout this time, we've had some people who have really been outstanding to work with. We've had a very short time frame. Some people just went above and beyond, and there's one person in particular that I really want to recognize. There we go. I really want to recognize her because she has been outstanding to work with. She's been the best. Laura Vogt, where are you? Come on up. We have something for you. You have been the best throughout this process, and I really wanted everyone to see who is the superstar of this event. So please give it up for Laura Vogt.
And Laura's been absolutely instrumental with the pre-planning phase of this facility. She put an immense amount of work in. You can imagine, I mean, look at the scale of this tower and this whole facility. So there was so much work that went in behind the scenes. So once again, thank you, Laura. Fantastic work.
So the competition works like this. As we mentioned earlier, 2 rounds of diving happened yesterday, and all 4 dives count. So 2 rounds today for both the men and the women. The women will kick things off. And leading the way, as we mentioned, Rhiannon Iflin after 2 rounds of diving, sitting in the number 1 position. And it'll be reverse order, so the lowest scores from yesterday's 2 rounds will dive first, and so on and so forth. So the leader after 2 rounds, Rhiannon Iflin, will dive last in the running order.
So some very important members of the competition here today. The judges. Okay, so I'm going to announce all of the judges, and we also have assistant referees and our head referee as well. So judge number 1, Simon Latimer. Judge number 2, Marion Reif. Oh, I love saying that name. Judge number 3, Olivia Mochno Ricard. I think I got the Mochno right, yeah? Judge number 4, Anka Piper. Judge number 5, Valerio Polazzo. And then one of the OGs in the high diving scene, Cyril Umich Khan. Ginger Huber, a very experienced high diver as well. Judge number 7. Our assistant referee today will be Anka Piper, and our referee will be Julian Lina. So thank you very much for your time and efforts. We've also got the World Aquatics Technical High Diving Committee, and they help govern the rules and regulations for our sport. And if you can raise your hand, we've got the chairperson of the Technical High Diving Committee and the legendary diver, Orlando Duque. Also got Steve McFarlane, who works tirelessly on the facilities, part of the subcommittee. We've also got Michael Geispuller, and with the important safety role as well, Hassan Muti. Thank you, everybody. So, folks, I think we're just moments away. Final preparations before the competition will take off.
All right, we're ready to go for our first diver on the women's side. Coming to you from that 20-meter platform. Ladies and gentlemen, from the United States, Genevieve Sangpan is ready to go.
All right. Let's kick things off. Genevieve, she has a forward 3 somersaults with a half twist and pike position. Let's do this. Genevieve Bradley literally off to a flying start with the triple half. The last part of the dive is what you call the Barani, and that's taken from the sport of trampolining, allowing the athletes to see the surface right to the end.
So a 6.5, 6.5, 7.5, 6.5, 7.0, 7.0, and a 7.5. So the 2 high scores are tossed out. The 2 low scores are tossed out. The remaining 3 that you see on the board are added together and multiplied by the degree of difficulty. So kicking things off for Genevieve Sangpan of the United States. Coming up next from France, here is Charlotte Herzog.
Right, what do we got for Charlotte? Arm stand back, 1.5 somersaults in the layout position. Nice and stylish. Check this out. The platform is 66 feet high, 20 meters off the surface of the water. And when you're standing up there looking down, it is terrifying. Imagine doing a handstand. Wow.
So you see the points there, a 3.0, 3.5, 3.5, 3.5, and then 3.5s across the board. On that dive, 34.65. So when you add all 3 together so far, 116.75. Remember, they accumulate over from dive to dive. So after the 3rd round dive, that total score is what she has. She has 1 more dive left. All dives count. And here we have Anna Bader of Germany. Give it up for Anna.
Oh, Anna, what you got for us? Back 2 somersaults with 1 twist in the free position. So taking off backwards, half twist at the beginning, then another half twist at the end of the dive. And music fade down. Anna Bader, one of the OGs, competed in the first World Aquatics World Championships in high diving, and that took place in Barcelona 2013, and she took the bronze medal there. How about the scores?
A big score, 7-0, 7-0, and 7-0. So she'll keep the 3 sevens. Once again, drop the 2 highs, the 2 lows, 65-10 on that dive. 152.70 is her total after 3 rounds. All right, coming up next from the United States, let's make some noise for Maria Smirnova.
Okay, folks, as a reminder, this is the intermediate round, fixed degree of difficulty of 3.4. Back 2 somersaults with 2 twists in the free position.
Smirnov. Got that right.
Yeah, got to drop the A. Maria getting the job done on the entry there. She's trained so hard leading up to this competition. Very experienced show performer. All around the world performing in incredible acrobatic shows. But how about the scores?
Lots of sevens across the board. She'll drop a 7.5 and a 7, another 7, 6.5. So 71.40 on that dive. Sitting in third place right now with 160.40. She's 4 to go of 23 women. And coming up next from France, here is Madeleine Bayonne.
Okay, Madeleine, let's see the back two somersaults with a 1 twist in the free position. And the sport of high diving, the athletes will quite often play to their strengths, but we have to show different takeoff groups. Some people prefer inward, standing backwards and rotating in towards the platform. Madeleine rotating backwards in this case.
So points on that dive, 57.35. So adding 3 together so far, 147.15. A lot of people ask about the splash, Joey. Not always necessarily the only thing in diving.
No, the judges will judge the dive on takeoff, flight, and entry.
As our next diver approaches the platform, Morgan Herculano of Switzerland.
All right, Morgan. Forward 2 somersaults with 1.5 twists in the free position. So as we said before, the judges are looking for a takeoff. Is the takeoff nice and powerful and strong? Is the position graceful in the air, the legs together, toes pointed, and looking for that vertical line as well?
All right. She'll lose 2 4.5s and a 5 and a 5.5. She'll keep the 4.5 and 2 5.0s. 44.95 on that dive. So total after 3 rounds, 136.35 for Herculano of Switzerland. Next, coming to you from Denmark, 31-year-old Annika Bornebusch.
Okay, Annika, forward 2 somersaults with a half twist in the pike position. The pike position is when the legs are straight, hinged at the hips. So speed of impact from the 66-foot platform, the 20-meter platform, approximately 71 kilometers per hour, around 45 miles an hour. Tough impact indeed.
She'll keep 3 4.5s. Once again, those are added together, multiplied by the degree of difficulty. So 37.80 on that dive, 130.30, so currently ranked 17th. And remember, 4 rounds of diving, all 4 counts, as we get ready for our next diver.
Trace is palming it off to me. Okay, got the Latin tongue. Alejandra Aguilar Tovar from Mexico. Oh, I love these dives. Check this out. Back 1 somersault layout. So layout means nice and straight. She's going to be flying in the air for a while.
Thank you.
Those last split seconds before the entry, super difficult to adjust. You really start to feel the acceleration curve, the wind picking up, and those last moments, the scores.
So on that, she'll keep 2 5s and a 4.5. 42.05 on that dive, 141.35 after 3 rounds of diving, currently 11th. Lots of diving yet to go here on the women's side. Next up, diving number 9 on the list, the 28-year-old Canadian. Here is Amy Harrison.
Amy, what you got for us? Forward 3 somersaults with a half twist in the pike position. Amy Harrison on fire in the morning with her high dives. Great work. So in the sport of high diving, different positions will carry more degree of difficulty. Choosing to do that dive in the pike, if it was tuck in the ball shape, would be less degree of difficulty. Trace, take it away.
Some good scores there. 7.5, 7.5. She'll keep 3 of those from the 7 judges. But again, the 2 high, the 2 low are tossed. 76.50 on that dive, 179.80, moving into the number 1 spot for Amy Harrison of Canada. Diving next from the United States, make a little noise for Susanna Fish.
Your local girl. She's going to show off some twisting action here. So forward 2 somersaults with 2.5 twists. Free position. Those twisting dives, very hard to control. So you take off from the platform, throw one arm across the chest, into the twist, nice and tight. When it's time to come out, you've got to put the arms out wide to stop the twist.
After tossing out the highs and the lows, she'll keep 3 4.5s. 45.90 on that dive, 156.90 as the total, currently sitting in number 5 position. Drop it in next from the Netherlands. Here's Jeannie van Katwijk.
Only athlete competing for Netherlands currently. So forward 3 somersaults with a half twist, the pike position. Jeannie just guiding the safety divers into a comfortable position. The triple half from Jeannie. So you can see the water spray there. So let's bust a myth right here. A lot of people think it's going to make the surface of the water softer. It's only there to help you see the surface to adjust for the landing.
Lots of 5s across the board. Judge 6 gave us 6.0, but the total of 52.70 on that 3rd round dive. So once again, adding 3 dives so far together, 172.65, currently 2nd place. All right, here's an Australian entering the platform now. Make a little noise for Emily Chinook.
All right, Ems. Let's do this. In with 2 somersaults with a half twist in the pike position. Emily Chinook. Good entry. She made the transition from diving with the national team in Australia. Went to the World Championships, just transitioned to high diving this year.
A lot of sixes across the board there. She'll keep a 6.5, another 6.5, and a 6. So total on that, 60.80 on her third round dive. So total after 3, 183.40 for the youngster of Australia. Next to dive, coming to you from Brazil, here's Patricia Valente.
Okay, Patricia, in with 2 somersaults with a half twist, pike position as well. So she'll stand backwards and then rotate in towards the platform. The dive is splashing the water. See the surface. How's the sound when you hit the water? That's called a rip entry. Just sounds like you're tearing cloth, ripping her way through the water.
Taking over the top spot with a lot of 7s across the board from the judges. So 70.40 on that third round dive. So again, adding 3 together so far, 204.10 for Patricia Valente of Brazil. Once again, we're in the third round dives of the women. We will move into the men's third round coming up shortly. But right now, from the United States of America, make some noise, folks, for Ellie Smart.
Yeah, Ellie. Forward 2 somersaults with 2.5 twists in the free position. Down she goes, Ellie Smart. Want to talk about visualization? You've got to be able to picture the dive perfectly in the mind to help you execute a dive just like that.
Great dive by Ellie, taking over the top spot. A lot of 7s across the board. She'll keep 3 7.5s. Toss out a couple 8s. 76.50 on that dive. 211.90 is now the top score after 3 rounds of diving. Ellie Smart, 14 to go of 23 as we get set for Colombia's Maria Paula Quintero.
Okay, Maria, back 2 somersaults with 2 twists. Free position. Get the sing action done at the beginning. Square it off into the Barani. Maria Paula Quintero. She has hit the podium before, 2nd place in the Red Bull Cliff Diving Competition 2019 in Italy. She's got talent.
Look at that. A lot of great scores there. A bunch of 7.5 she'll keep. Moving into the lead now with 2:15. Young Elisa Cassetti of Italy now ready to dive, only 20 years old.
Cossetti, back 2 somersaults, 2 twists in the free position. Let me tell you, the Italians, they've been working hard, and that shows why. That dive, oof, smooth and clean. Working with the trampolinist as well to help tidy up the entries.
The judges like it, Joey. After throwing out some high scores in the lows, 7.5, 7-7. She'll keep 73-10, 213, 2-0. So Elisa Cassetti moving into the number 2 spot. Coming up now from Australia, 24-year-old Xanthia Panizzi.
Yeah, Xanthia. Forward 3 somersaults with a half twist. Pike position for her. Xanthia Panizzi crushing it. Getting the speed dial just right. So a lot of the athletes work on the lower platforms just to get the speed just right to help them adjust on the 20-meter platform. Fine diving by Xanthia.
Wow, all 8s across the board for Xanthia Panizzi. She'll keep an 8.5 and 2 8s. 83.3 on that dive after 3 rounds added together. 223.70, putting her in a great position. Leading into the 4th and final round, that now is the top score. As we go to the top of the tower now, stands Germany's Iris Schmidbauer.
Iris mixing it up. Let's change the direction. Let's go in reverse, facing forwards, jumping up, moving forwards in the reverse direction. 2 somersaults, 2 twists in the free position.
Presents a tale of longing and long-lasting scent. Dear love of my life, we were on the 12B bus when I found
Those reverse takeoffs, it's really difficult to get the rotation moving because you have to move forward and then rotate backwards, so you have to work very hard on the takeoff. Pretty good scores.
Very good score, 66.30 on that dive. So 209.05 after adding 3 together so far. She'll still have another dive, moving her into 5th place at the moment. Schmidbauer of Germany. All right, coming on the tower now, getting ready to dive. Only a few women left in this 3rd round. It is Canada's Jessica McCauley.
Okay, girl. All right, Jessica. Forward 3 somersaults with a half twist, the pike position. Don't these athletes just make it look so smooth, so easy? It just looks effortless. They take off. Oh, it's easy. Just a triple somersault, the half twist, and an entry like that. Well done, Jessica.
What's not easy is being a judge today. Some great diving so far. So a lot of 8s tossed out. She'll keep one of them, 2 7.5s. 78.20 on that dive. She moves into the number 1 spot with a 227.70 after 3 rounds. Getting into the top 4 after 2 rounds of diving yesterday. From the United States of America, Maylee Carpenter.
Let's give it up for your local girl. In with 2 somersaults with a half twist in the pike position. Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky through the water. As Emma dives, you're just standing on the platform with just your half of your foot on, right on your tippy toes. Can be pretty tricky to get the balance, especially on windy days, but today, beautiful weather.
70.40 on that dive. Moves her into 3rd place with a grand total after 3 rounds, 219.90. Folks, don't forget to tell your friends. We are live right now on World Aquatics YouTube page, so spread the word, tell your friends as we get into the top 3 divers after 2 rounds yesterday. And this is Canada's Simone Leadhead.
Simone with a forward 3 somersaults with a half twist. Let's make it pike. Strong team with Canada. They've got a training facility in Montreal. They've got a high diving facility, but indoors in Parc Olympique. They need that. Pretty cold up there.
Puts her into 2nd place. She'll keep a 6.5, a pair of 7s, 69.70 on that dive in the 3rd round. 224.60 after 3. Once again, 4 rounds of diving are all added together for the grand total, so it's not over until the end of the 4th round. Getting into the top 2 divers after 2 rounds yesterday. Before we move into the men's presentation and men's 3rd round dive, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Molly Carlson of Canada.
Good golly, Miss Marley. Back 2 somersaults with 2 twists in the free position. Boom. There you have it. It's only her 3rd year on the scene, and she came bursting out of the gates in 2021. Now that is a fine intermediate dive. Silky smooth. Wow.
Judges agree with you, Joey. 90.10 on that. Look at that. A bunch of 9s up there on the board for Carlson. Now the score to beat, 253 flat. So Carlson, after 3 rounds of diving, in a great position. But look who's next, the dominant diver from down under. Give it up for Rhiannon Ifland.
Yeah. Here we go. Forward 3 somersaults with a half twist pike for Rhiannon. Oh, the Aussie powerhouse demonstrating her skill and accuracy. Just immaculate. Wow.
So she'll have 3 8.5s that she will keep after dropping the 2 high, the 2 low, 86.70. So a total 249.90, putting her in a second place after 3 rounds of diving. So Carlson in the number 1 spot right now after 3 rounds. Iflin in second. Another Canadian on the top 3 in the top 3. Jessica McCauley with 227.70 so far.
Just 3 points between Molly Carlson, Rhiannon Ifland. 2 Canadians up there in the top 3. So they'll go in reverse order for the 4th round. But next up we'll have the men. So the men's athlete presentation. And their round 3 dive, which is the intermediate dive round. And once they're done, we're going to come into the 4th and final round for the women. And they're going to throw down their biggest and baddest dives. Let's max out the DD, the degree of difficulty. Let's look at the standings here.
Carlson with the lead after 3 rounds. Again, all 4 rounds count. So the next dive, important. Rhiannon Iflin in second. You got McCauley. The Canadians locking down a lot in the top 4 so far. So on and so forth. You will see the women's leaderboard. We'll reset for the men, have the men's presentation. Before that, big thanks to Memorial Health, Rocket Fizz, TYR, Masters Diving, City of Fort Lauderdale. Visit Fort Lauderdale, International Swimming Hall of Fame, Indian River State College, USA Diving Foundation, the Ray Root Foundation, and a few of our VIPs, individuals to recognize. Thank yous to Felix Grossman. You have John Deininger, Laura Vogt, who we gave the presentation to earlier in the flowers. Thank you guys so much. Maria Keller-Marvin is here. Lori Marchwinski, Alyssa Lovett, Dave Gascon, Rialto Heller, Steve McFarland. Thank you guys. Dale Nurberger. And then Tom Gumpf, who is not here, but very instrumental in bringing high diving to not only here in Fort Lauderdale, but to the United States. So thanks to all those individuals and many, many more volunteers. You guys, thanks so much as we get ready for the men's presentation here in just a minute.
Just moments away from the men's athletes presentation. We're getting hyped up. We're getting ramped up. Speaking of ramping up, we're going to take it up a scale in height, up to 90 feet, 27 meters. Look at that incredible tower built by the city of Fort Lauderdale. I'll get that one done.
Great women's 3rd round. And they will regroup, reset for their 4th and final round of diving here at the World Aquatics High Diving World Cup. Fort Lauderdale 2023 pivotal event for points and spots earned the World Championships coming up in Japan this summer in late July. Men's presentation about to get underway, their third round dive. And then we'll go immediately into the women's fourth round. Men's fourth round, then medals presentation. And again, a huge thanks to the city of Fort Lauderdale, the Aquatic Center here. New facility. And now it's ready for the men's presentation. You guys ready for the best men's high divers you'll see on the planet diving today? You guys ready for this? A little louder than that, you guys. Let's give it up. Just kicking it off with our first diver from Germany. Let's give it up for Kai Kurbs.
And the only man representing Korea, give it up for Byung-hwa Choi.
Coming to you from Japan, Kiyohei Arata.
All the way from Denmark, Jonas Madsen.
Coming over from Germany, give it up for Tim Tasing.
And from somewhere a little cooler, representing Canada, Michael Foisy.
A long ways, all the way from New Zealand, 22-year-old Braden Rumpet.
Love that name, Rumpet.
Rumpet.
All right, to the continent of Europe, from Germany, Manuel Helbisch.
Representing Switzerland, please welcome Jean-David Duval.
Let's back it up with another man from Switzerland, Matthias Appenzeller.
From Mexico, here we go, Joey Diego Rizzo Rivero.
Not bad, Trace, you got it. From Colombia, Victor Ortega Serna. 3 times Olympian in the sport of diving.
All right, representing the United States of America, the veteran experienced diver. Make some noise for Andy Jones.
The little whippersnapper. Representing Great Britain, Owen Weymouth.
The 22-year-old Italian is here, Davide Baraldi.
And yet another Italian, Andrea Barnaba. Just 18 years of age, very talented youngster.
All right, come on, do a little dance for us, buddy. From Mexico, Sergio Guzman.
And from the US of A, Matthew Cooper.
Another athlete representing the United States of America. Make some noise for Nate Jimerson.
And the youngster from Mexico, Jolot Martinez Cabral.
From Colombia, 32-year-old Miguel Garcia.
And this boy loves a somersault from the United States of America, James Lichtenstein.
Representing the Ukraine, Oleksiy Prigorov.
And the ripmaster from Mexico, Jonathan Paredes.
From the United States, make a lot of noise for this guy, David Colturi.
And one of the Romanian powerhouses, Catalin Preda.
One of the strong up-and-coming divers. Watch out for him today, throwing the big degree of difficulty. The Brit, Aiden Heslop.
And the master of cliff diving and high diving, the reigning World Aquatics high diving champion. Give it up for Gary Hunt.
And the number 2 ranked diver after 2 rounds yesterday from Spain, Carlos Jimeno.
And the man leading the charge in the competition at the High Diving World Cup from Romania, Konstantin Popovic.
All right, folks, give it up for all the men as they lead into their 3rd round dive. Once again, the best in the world in high diving. Let's get this thing going.
Okay, athletes, that concludes the athletes' presentation. You may proceed to the marshalling area to prepare for the competition. Make your way up that 90-foot tower. Gentlemen, best of luck.
Those of you who have just joined us, the World Aquatics High Diving World Cup 2023. 2 rounds of diving went down yesterday for both the women and the men. The women's 3rd round concluded. Mala Carlson leads the way after 3. All 4 dives count towards the total. Awards presentation following the 4th round of the men. Getting into the 3rd round of the men so far, Joey, and those who just joined us once again, tell us about the towers, the heights, the impact, all the good stuff that the, kind of the nerdy people out there like to hear, Like the pool is 20 feet deep. There's not too many nerdy people out there, but you know what I mean. There's somebody out there going, what's the temperature of the pool? There's somebody out there asking that right now.
Oh, it's lovely. It's 28 degrees. It's beautiful. Get your cocktails out, lounge in the water. It's lovely. No, right, let's get serious. Let's get nerdy. So we've got a lot of lower platforms here for traditional diving. So 1 meter springboards, 3 meter springboards over here, 5, 7.5, and 10 is the Olympic height in diving. And then we've got these various other platforms to help the athletes learn how to high dive. So there's one thing to do high diving, but you don't go from ground zero, from 1 meter all the way up to 27 meters or 90 feet in an instant. Takes you time, right? Look at the tower. You work your way up in height increments. 10. Then we go up to 15 meters. That's around about 50 feet. Then we come over to the right side over here. 20 meters, 66 feet. And this is a stepping stone height over here, the 24-meter one, which is around about 80 feet high. And then we've got the 27-meter one. So it's really difficult to go from 20 meters or 66 feet right up to 90. You just need that little stepping stone to get comfortable with the height. And then once you get comfortable with the height, you just start hucking stuff, dude.
I have another question for you that somebody's wondering. Somebody's saying, what are they throwing down every time when they're on the top of the platform? They're throwing something down, like into the water. splashes into the water. What is that?
What's their, their alarm signal for the coaches? Hey, are you watching?
Oh, really? That's
yeah,
it?
they have to hit
Okay.
the coaches.
All right.
No, it's a chamois. So they have a chamois, same thing that you use to dry your car off. So when the athletes are rotating really quickly, in a tuck position especially, in the ball shape, you can easily slip out of the dive. So you need to dry off your legs. Sometimes the athletes also use a little cream or a gel that they use like in Cirque du Soleil performances. Gives a little bit of grip, a nice sort of tacky surface to help hold onto the legs. Because it does happen sometimes. You will see the athlete slip out of the dive, and that ain't fun. And that's when you wipe out. No one wants to wipe out, not from these heights of 90 feet high.
Good
Got
stuff. Good stuff.
Are you well informed now?
How about that, guys?
Yeah.
Joey Zuber, high diving expert right here. He's
Yeah.
been doing this a long time.
You're here to learn something.
Once again, you guys, welcome. Thank you for joining us here at this incredible World Cup competition featured by World Aquatics, USA High Diving, all the friends and family. You guys, thank you for joining us as well. All the VIPs up there, how you doing? You guys comfortable up there in your little VIP spot? You guys doing all right? Good. All right, cool.
Some nice
Welcome.
I'm kind of jealous.
I know.
I sort of
Be
want to
up
be
there
up in
with
the
those
VIP area. Like, you know what I'm saying? A little cool beverage, bit of high diving. What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
Has anyone got a nice boat we can go on afterwards? I think I'd like to, hang out the boat the afternoon.
And this new aquatics, where's Steve Lobu? He's around somewhere, but you got to give it up for Steve Lobu. He's doing a great job out here with this facility, and we'll get to him later. And if you ever want to see Steve across the way, he's always going nuts. There he is, making his way over. And we're going to make our way to the top of the platform, you guys. 27 meters, 90 feet above the water, stands our first diver on the men's side for the third round. Give it up for Germany's Kai Kurbs to kick things off.
Men's round 3. Here we go. Forward 3 somersaults, half twist, and the pike position. Just give us a little beat. We need a little reset.
Oh, this will give me time to recognize Steve again. Steve Lebu on the other side of the pool right there. Steve, give it up for Steve Lebu, world champion, incredible high diver. He's done a nice job coaching here, directing things at this Fort Lauderdale facility, helping facilitate things. And when you see a good dive, watch Steve, actually. It's actually more entertaining than watching the diver hit the water. It's pretty fun.
I think he's more nervous than the divers.
He is.
You
Look
know?
at how nervous he is.
It is. It's hard. When you're coaching, you feel your diver.
He was more relaxed when he was diving.
Now, Lebu, one of the first people in the world to do the quint half pike. Quint means 5 somersaults. That was pretty impressive watching that for the first time. Made me dizzy. Couldn't count the somersaults. So we've got our referee on top of the platform. I believe we've got Steve McFarlane up there, part of the technical high diving committee.
What does everybody think of this high diving stuff so far? You guys like it? You guys think it should be an Olympic sport? What do you think? Yeah, there you go. Working on it.
That's a pretty shameless plug there. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Just be direct. Just get to the point. I mean,
and just a reminder, thank you for all of our live viewers. We are streaming live, so anybody who just joined us, spread the word. World Aquatics YouTube page. Go on, tell them to check it out. Tell them you're here. Tell them it's live. Support the athletes, the divers, the facility, the whole thing. All right, we are ready to go now, working the kinks out. Not a big deal. We're actually a little bit ahead of schedule. This is nice. Kai Kurbs getting ready to go from Germany. Let's give it up for Kai.
I'll re-announce the dive for Kai. What's he going to do? Not one somersault, not two, but three. Forward three somersaults with a half twist in the pike position. Sounds like a lot of somersaults, but you need a lot of finesse and control to get the dive right. Speed is important. Very hard, the adjustment right at the end of the dive, so that's an over rotation. So of course we're looking for that vertical line. When you go past it, that's called over. If it's under it, it's called short.
All right, so he'll have a 44.20 on that dive, so 111.05. A reminder, the two high scores of the 7 judges are tossed, the 2 low scores are tossed, the remaining 3 multiplied together or added together and then multiplied by the degree of difficulty. So Kai Curbs kicking things off here in the men's third round. Coming up next, from Korea, Younghwa Choi coming up now, standing high above the water. Give it up for the Korean diver.
The only Korean athlete in the field. Okay, Choi forward. 3 somersaults with a half twist in the pike position. And the high diving community has been so impressed with Choi. Most of the athletes started diving at a young age of around 8 or 9 or 10 years of age. He just started diving around about 4 years ago. Pretty impressive.
27.20 for his third round dive. So a total, after 3 rounds added together, 95.65. So 29th place. The reverse order is what we're looking at too, by the way. So this is reverse order from after 2 rounds of diving. So the lowest score is diving first. The highest score is diving last in this round, that being of Konstantin Popovich leading the way, as our next diver is ready to go.
Ladies and gents, give it up for Kyohei Arata from Japan. Forward 3 somersaults with a half twist in the pike position. You got it, Kyohei. Last part of the dive is the Barani front somersault with a half twist, allowing the athlete to look at the water the entire time to help them adjust for that speed of impact, 85 km an hour.
He'll keep 2 5s and a 4.5. 49.30 on that third round dive. Adding 3 together so far, 142. Jonas Brokstedt Madsen of Denmark coming to you now, all the way up the top of the tower. Once again, 27 meters, 90 feet above the water for our next diver. 30 men total in this round. Jonas, number 4 to go before getting into the women's fourth round.
Now, a lot of people ask us, man, these athletes must have no fear. Let me tell you, they do have fear. Once you peer over the edge, it's like looking over the 8th story of a high-rise building. Do it for yourself. Check it out. Try to understand what it feels like.
34.10 on that dive, 130.90 for the grand total. And everyone asks us, does it hurt when you land, Joey? Obviously, if you land in the wrong position, it hurts, but just normally on your feet, does it hurt?
Again, just depends how you land. So ultimately, the more vertical, the more straight you are, you want to cut through the water like a knife.
Tim Tasing coming to you from Germany next up.
All right, Tim is going to face backwards and rotate in towards the platform, hence the name inward. 3 somersaults with a half twist in the pike position. Now, the sport of diving and high diving, different takeoff directions will have higher degree of difficulty. If he did that dive rotating forwards, the degree of difficulty would be less. So sometimes they choose different takeoff directions to ramp up the DD, degree of difficulty.
That dive, 36 points, 136.25. Once again, after adding the first 3 dives together. All 4 dives are added together at the end for the total. As we go back to the top now for our next diver from Canada, it is Michael Foisy.
Just love that name, Foisy. I could say it all day. Forward 2 somersaults with a half twist in the pike position. Really well controlled. When you're doing those more simple dives, just double somersaults, it's so hard not to over-rotate. So you have to use a lot of control to jump up and not do it too quickly. Don't want to land on your backside.
He'll keep 3 6s. Once again, added together, multiplied by the degree of difficulty, 52.20, 161.80 after 3 rounds. Currently 16th place. From New Zealand, 22-year-old Braden Rumpet, ready to dive.
Another great name, Rumpet. Forward 3 somersaults with a half twist with 3 positions. Check this out. We'll talk about it after the dive. Super cool looking dive. Real stylish. Pay attention. Whoa, I almost missed the dive. I looked at my clipboard and he was gone off the platform. So 3 positions in that dive. First somersault in the ball shape. That's called tuck. Second position straight. Third position into the pike. But now we position ourselves to the scores.
70.20 on that dive, Joey. 185 total after 3 rounds. Currently 11th place. Coming up now from Germany, it is Manuel Tobias Halbisch.
All right, Manuel, what do we got? Forward 3 somersaults with a half twist in the pike position as well. Boom! Tidy, Manuel. Tidy. So if you just look at the feet, if you can see it in the slow motion of the broadcast, I'm not sure if you can, but you'll see the feet starting to flatten. You want to make a hole for the body to pass through so you can get that rip entry. You don't want to point your toes. That might cause your legs to split apart. The scores.
71.40 on that dive, 194.40 total after 3 rounds added together. Not bad at all for the German diver. As we go to the top now, representing Switzerland, Jean-David Duval.
Forward 3 somersaults, half twist. 3 different positions. Same as Braden. Once again, watching the intermediate round. The step between the required dive, the more graceful dives, and the optional dives, meaning the dives with high degree of difficulty. Scores for Jean-David Duval.
Currently 12th place. Joey 63 on that dive, 188.30, adding the first 3 rounds together. Those who just joined us, we are in the midst of the men's 3rd round dive. Then we'll get into the women's 4th round, followed by the men's 4th round. All 4 dives added together for the total as we go to the top of the platform now. Once again, it is 27 meters, 90 feet above the water. From Switzerland, here is Matthias Appenzeller.
DD 3.6, forward 3 somersaults, 1.5 twists in the pike position. Job well done by Matthias. In the sport of high diving, you can choose to do your somersaults and twists in different areas. First somersault in the pike position. Second part, he did the twist. The last part, adjusting for the entry like an airplane.
Good enough for 3rd place after 3 rounds so far. 79.2 on that dive. 204.50 is the total thus far. He'll have another dive in his 4th round as we get set now for Diego Rizzo Rivero of Mexico.
Not bad, but not
bad.
great.
Okay, you say it.
Somewhere between. Diego Rizzo Rivero.
Oh, God, he's so much better.
Okay. Forward 3 somersaults with a half twist in the pike position. See Diego stretching the body out. So you always have to make adjustments. Sometimes you're a little faster, a little slower. So sometimes you need to stretch the body to make it longer to slow the wheel down.
After dropping the 2 high scores, the 2 low scores with the 7 judges, he'll have a 57.80 on that dive. After 3 rounds, 184.50, currently in 15th. Our next diver coming to you from Colombia, it is Victor Ortega Sterna.
All righty, Victor. Come on. Forward 3 somersaults with a half twist in the pike position. 3 times Olympian in the sport of diving. Victor, Victor, Victor. Huh? How about that? Victor moved himself out here to Fort Lauderdale, or he's living in Miami so he could train to get ready for the competition, and that paid dividends with those
Just
scores.
like it, Joe. He had a 9 in there. He had to toss it out, but kept a bunch of 8s, 81-60 on that third round dive. So a total 223.10 now the score to beat. He's got his work cut out for him. Here's 38-year-old from the United States of America. Make some noise for Andy Jones.
Hello, Andy. You ready, son?
Hello, Andy.
Hello, Andy. Forward 3 somersaults, half twist, 3 different positions. Same as Braden, same as Jean-David Duval. Andy Jones, super talented, all-round athlete. Could have been a free skier, could have been a baseball player, high diver, worked for Cirque du Soleil, stunt performer. Great scores for Andy Jones, 7. 7.5, 7.5. You drop the 2 highest, drop the 2 lowest. You get the average. Total points, 79.20 for Andy Jones.
Moving him into the top spot and the score to beat, Mr. Jones from the United States. This guy has some incredible dives if you ever look him up on Instagram. Here's Owen Weymouth.
Oh, he's going to show off a little bit of blind entry action here. We'll talk about that after dive. Forward 3 somersaults tuck. Ain't no half twist in this one. It's blind, and it ain't easy. So if you pay close attention, you notice there was no front somersault with a half twist at the end. So he's just doing the front somersault. So he's kind of blind. So he's using peripheral vision to try and adjust for the landing. So he's just looking over his toes, looking over the side to see if he can use some markers to help him adjust for the entry. So you get a bonus with a blind entry in terms of degree of difficulty.
Weymouth comes in with a 37.80 on that dive. Total after 3 rounds, 183.40. Owen Weymouth, 14th diver on the men's side of 30 men. So we are now halfway through the men's 3rd round of diving before we get into the women's 4th and final round. The 22-year-old Italian stands atop the platform, Davide Baraldi.
Ah, the Italians, they got style. Forward 3 somersaults with a half twist in the pike position. It's just 2.8 seconds of free fall. Here's something for you. From the 10-meter platform, 33 feet, it takes you about 1.8 seconds. And so that remaining height of 17 meters just takes a mere split second.
Davide Baraldi moves into the lead with a 69.70 on that dive. Total after 3 rounds, 225.40. Jones in second, Ortega in third right now. Another Italian getting ready to rock. Only 18 years old. Here is Andrea Barnaba.
All right. Andrea, inward, 3 somersaults with a half twist in the pike position. Let me tell you what I like about that dive. His pike position, if you look at it, straight legs, folds against the body. There is no gap between his legs and his body, and the scores reflect that beautiful position in the air and the entry.
Look at the nines, folks. Give it up for Barnaba, the youngster, moving into the top spot after a 97.20 on that dive. And total after 3, 265.40. The Italians 1 and 2 so far. Jones in third. Many divers yet to drop, including this next one from Mexico, Sergio Guzman.
Sergio Guzman, he's hot to trot. He loves the tuck position. Now, if you pay close attention, when they're on the top of the platform, they like to do a lot of visualization, blocking through the dive. You see them physically preparing, trying to get the sequencing right. And he got it right with scores like that.
A lot of eights up there, 86.40, 255.40 after 3 rounds. Guzman moves into second place. From the United States of America, getting ready to drop, Mr. Matt Cooper.
Hey, Matt, what you got for us? In with 3 somersaults with a half twist, the pike position. The Americans on fire. Had a little slip up in training, but he made up for it in the competition. It matters how you perform on event day, and he's performed well.
Made it up in the points right there, 86.40 on that third round dive. Cooper moving into second right now with a 259.70. Matt Cooper, 18 to go of 30. Reverse order after the scores from the second round yesterday. After the second round, as we get ready for our 19th diver to drop in, 36-year-old Nate Jimerson of the United States.
All righty, Nate, let's twist it up. Back 2 somersaults with 3 twists. Free position. Nate Jimerson performed in many prestigious shows around the world, such as the House of Dancing Water in Macau. That particular dive, be so careful not to over-rotate. So you've got to jump it up nice and steep, get the twist so you don't over-rotate at the bottom. The scores for Nate Jimerson.
68.40 on that dive for Nate, 242.60. So currently 4th, and that is the score, 242.60, which he'll carry into the 4th round. And Joey loves to say this name, so I'm going to pass it on to you, buddy. Go for it.
From Mexico, Yolot Martinez Cabral. Oh. Smooth. Forward. 3 somersaults. 1.5 twists in the pike position. Andale. Go Jolot, the youngster. He's got such a great technical diving background. He competed in the World Aquatics World Championships and synchronized diving. With that background, combined with the trampoline maneuvers, helps him be a great high diver.
81 on that dive, 264.30 when you add the first 3 rounds together. Moving into second place. Coming up next, now we're getting to the top 10 divers on the men's side after 2 rounds yesterday. This is Miguel Garcia from Colombia.
Let's go, Miguel. In with 3 somersaults with a half twist in the tuck position this time, the ball shape. Once again, standing backwards, rotating in towards the platform.
Whoa.
Loved how Miguel worked the entry. A little stuck coming into it, so slow in rotation, dug deep into that pike position, held on to the right moment, snapped his chest up.
I didn't even see a splash, did you? It disappeared.
Like a little pebble in the ocean.
Whoa. 91.80 on that, folks. 280.50. Miguel Garcia moves into the top spot with a 285.0.
He's put in the hard yards, and it's paying off here today.
Once again, the top 10 from the 2 rounds yesterday. All 4 rounds count. We're in the men's 3rd round. Next up from the United States of America, 28-year-old James Lichtenstein.
All right, Flipster. Here we go. Forward 3 somersaults, half twist. 3 different positions. How about that for stylish, huh? The sequencing, everything flowed from one position to another seamlessly. The tuck, the fly, the pike, the score.
82.80 on that 3rd round dive, so a total 274.60. Moving into 2nd place, and that's what he'll carry that score into the 4th round dive. James Lichtenstein of the United States. Coming up next, the 38-year-old from Ukraine. Make some noise for Alexei Prigorov.
Got quite a few of these dives in this round. Some of them are choosing to do that so they can get up to that degree of difficulty, 3.6, that they have to hit for the intermediate round. Forward 3 somersaults with a half twist. Once again, 3 different positions for Alexei Prigorov.
Where'd he go? Where'd he go?
Where'd he go? Where is Alexei
There he is.
Prigodov?
There he is.
He is in heaven with that dive. What I liked, I love the takeoff. Strong jump, powerful, beautiful position there. Pow, look at the big scores for Alexei.
Lots of nines up there, Joey. He'll keep 2 nines. 3 of them, actually. 97.20 on that dive, 289.10. Prigodov, after 3 rounds, now the score to beat. You know high diving, you know cliff diving, you know this name right here from Mexico. Up next, Johnny Paredes.
Okay, he's going to go inwards. He's going to stand backwards, rotate in towards the platform with 3 somersaults, half twist, tuck position. Johnny just guiding the safety divers, splashing the water. Jonathan Paredes showing his strengths, which is understanding where the surface of the water is. He can smell it, he can sniff it, and he can find it for an entry like that.
He'll keep a 9 and 8.5 and another 9 for a total on that round. 95.40 for a total after 3. 288.20. Paredes now in second behind Prigodov. Getting now into the top 6 divers in the men's 3rd round. And that will be kicked off by the American from the United States of America, David Colturi.
Give it up for your boy. Originally from Chicago. He's also going to rotate inwards this time with 3 somersaults, same as Johnny, but this time pike position. So his legs will be straight, folded against his body. Oh, those Americans, they're just on fire, aren't they?
Oh,
They're lovely. They're brilliant.
They have a good facility to train at.
Yeah, it helps, right? Thanks again, City of Fort Lauderdale, providing this fantastic opportunity to fine-tune your athletes.
Colturi moving into 3rd with a 91.80 on that dive. He'll scratch a couple 9s off that, keep an 8.5, another 2 8.5s. 286.50 is what Dave Colturi will carry into the 4th round. Top 5 divers coming up now after 2 rounds yesterday. From Romania, it is Cătălin Preda.
All right, let's shift the direction back to forwards. Standing forwards, rotating forwards, 3 somersaults with 1.5 twists in the pike position for Cătălin Preda. So much goes into the sport of high diving. Hard-working athlete Cătălin Preda. Strength and conditioning, working on your flexibility, your technique, your aerial awareness. What a mighty find. What a graceful diver Cătălin Preda is.
He'll keep a couple 8s and a 7.5. Once again, scratching the 2 high, the 2 low scores. So 84.60 on that dive, 279.6. So Preda will carry that into the fourth and final round. 21-year-old Brit coming at you, the strong diver named Aiden Heslop.
Yeah. Let's go, Aiden. In with 3 somersaults, half twist, tuck position. So back to the ball shape. Aiden Heslop, one of the most exciting divers in the field with the highest degree of difficulty. And the fourth and final round, we're going to see some mega degree of difficulty.
Keep 2 7.5s and an 8 for that one, and 82.80. Total 279.30. So Heslop, 6th place, leading into the fourth round. All right, here he is. From France, make some noise for Gary Hunt.
Gary, always mixing it up. Check this out. This time forward 4 somersaults with a half twist, the tuck position. Adding a little spice and variety to the competition. Folks, Gary Hunt stretching it out right at the end of the dive. He knew he was rotating fast, held straight to stall the dive, and what a remarkable job he did. Beautiful diving and beautiful scores.
Exactly. A lot of 9s up there on the board. 97.20 on that third round dive. 297.75. So Gary Hunt moving into the top spot with that. Prigorov right now in second. Johnny Paredes sitting third with 2 divers remaining in the men's third round before we get into the women's fourth and final round. But right now it's all about going to the top of the platform for Spain's Carlos Jimeno.
Just 2 more divers to cap off the round. Penultimate diver, inward, 3 somersaults, half twist in the tuck position for Carlos Jimeno. Carlos Jimeno, steely-eyed and focused for this competition here in Fort Lauderdale. He's put in the effort. And when you put in the effort, you can receive good scores.
You do, and you can move into the top spot. 91.80 on that. 306 breaking the 300 mark is Jimeno. So now the score to beat, 306, with 1 diver remaining in the third round. For the men, the women's pivotal fourth round coming up, but the top qualifier after 2 rounds of diving yesterday, Konstantin Popovic from Romania.
Konstantin capping off the intermediate dive round. In with 3 somersaults with a half twist, the pike position. Love how Constantine just attacks the takeoff. Strong, aggressive, immaculate pike position. The legs right against the chest. Not a gap between his legs and his body. Superb scores for Konstantin Popovic.
9s across the board with the exception of 1 8.5. He had a 9.5 in there. That'll be tossed out. 97.20 on that third round dive. 3:14.90. So Popovic remains the leader after 3 rounds of the men's diving competition.
Good lead there for Konstantin. But still, Camino, Gary Hunt in striking distance. Look at the spread here.
Popovic in first, Jimeno second. We have Gary Hunt in third. It is going to be a tight race in the 4th round dives. Prigorov doing a great job. Johnny Paredes hanging in there in the top 5. Top American, David Colturi in 6th. Garcia in 7th. You have Preda in 8th. 9th, Heslop. It's going to be an amazing men's 4th round dive.
Pretty tight with the scores there from 9th. Going up to 3rd. Not much in it at all.
We'll reset, reboot for the women's 4th round dive. Here shortly as we welcome you again to the city of Fort Lauderdale, the Aquatic Center here for the World Aquatics High Diving World Cup 2023. Once again, hang tight. We're coming back with the women's 4th round dive, followed by the men's 4th round, then the awards presentation.
So, folks, just a few minutes until we get underway with the women's 4th and final round. And after this round, we'll see who will be crowned champion at the World Aquatics High Diving World Cup in Fort Lauderdale. Just need a few more moments to get all the crew set and judges in position. Stand by, folks.
All right, let's get right into the women's 4th and final round. You guys ready for this? This is where it all counts. Two rounds of diving yesterday. The 3rd round for the women just happened. Earlier on today, all 4 rounds are added together for the total. And then we'll award the top 3. So the start list, you can see up there on the board. If you have a visual on that, it is reverse order. So after 3 rounds of diving, you'll have your top qualifier running last or diving last. And that would be Molly Carlson. The top 3 after the women's first 3 rounds, Molly Carlson in the number 1 spot, Rhiannon Iflin in 2nd, Jessica McCauley in 3rd. And once again, you can see the running order right there. Molly stacked with Canadians in that top 4 with Leathead, McCauley, and Carlson. And the Aussies wedged in there with Iflin and Panizzi. So it should be an interesting 4th round dive competition for the women. And now we will kick things off. Make some noise, folks. From France, here is Charlotte Herzog to kick things off for the women's 4th round.
4th and final round. Let's do this. Forward 2 somersaults with a half twist in the pike position. Charlotte doing a fine job with the entry there. So sometimes we have athletes transferring from different disciplines. Charlotte coming from gymnastics. Sometimes they come from sports acro or trampolining and make the transfer to the sport of high diving.
So on that fourth round, she'll have a 49 on that particular dive. So a total of 4 rounds added together, 165.75. So Herzog of France kicking things off for the women. She's first to go of 23 in this women's fourth round. We head back to the top of the platform now for Annika Bornebusch of Denmark.
Annika impressing us with an arm stand back 1.5 somersaults layout. So an arm stand, but taking off backwards. Love those layout dives. So have different positions in the sport of high diving. Layout, straight, pike, tuck. And you have to write the dive down so the judges know what they're looking for.
All right, a 59.40 on that fourth round dive. So a total after 4 rounds, 189.70. 12th position. Back to the top of the platform now from Switzerland, Morgan Herculano.
All right, Morgan. She'll stand backwards. She'll rotate in towards the platform with 2 somersaults, half twist in the pike position. So with those inward rotating dives, when you take off, you have to be quite close to the platform. If you look at the replays, you'll see that the feet come relatively close to the platform. You need to do that in order to maintain the rotation. Just a bit of an over-rotation on the end of the dive for Morgan.
Currently 15th place with that 36.80 on that dive, 173. So we head back to the top now. Alejandra Sofia Aguilar Tovar. How's that? That was bad. That wasn't good.
Nailed it. Nailed it. Okay.
Alejandra Sofia Aguilar Tovar.
Very good.
That was better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Alejandra inward 2 somersaults with a half twist to the pike position. So Alejandra just having to put the air brakes on at the end of the dive. So sometimes when you're feeling a little fast, you have to put your arms above your head to make the dive slower. But when you land with your arms above your head, you do get a deduction from the judges. So maximum score 4.5 if your arms are above the head. So you have to keep them below the shoulder line.
Remember the top, the highs, 2 highest scores are tossed out, the 2 low scores are tossed. 171.75 is her grand total after 4 rounds of diving. Now from the United States of America, formerly Genevieve Bradley, now newly married, Genevieve Sangpan is next.
All right, Genevieve, arm stand forward, 2.5 somersaults with a half twist the pike position. Now, when you do the arm stand dives, you do get a bonus in terms of degree of difficulty. When you do those arm stand forwards, they're actually more difficult than going backwards. Pretty tricky to generate that rotation on those particular dives. Done a great job with the takeoff, Genevieve.
Moving into 10th place with that, 64.75 on that dive, 2:11.15 after 4 rounds. Next up from France, Madeleine Bayonne gets ready to dive.
Love watching this particular dive. Back 2 somersaults in the pike position. Check it out. Let me tell you, you need a lot of finesse and control with that dive. You've got to make sure you jump up, not trying to pull the shoulders back so you get too much rotation. Just went a little bit past that vertical line there, the entry.
Good enough for a 44.8 on that 4th round dive. All 4 added together, 191.95 for Bayonne of France. Up next from Germany, make some noise for Anna Bader.
Okay, Anna, forward 3 somersaults, half twist in the pike position. With high diving, we use what's called lead up. So we would practice the first stage of the dive, the first 2.5 somersaults on a 7-meter or 10-meter platform to get the orientation right. And just the last part is that floating Barani maneuver. The scores for Anna Bader.
Currently 5th place after a 71.40 on her 4th round. Her total after 4, 224. Going back to the top of the platform now for the women's next diver. Number 8 of 23, it is Susanna Fish of the United States of America.
Time to step up the DD. DD means degree of difficulty. In with 3 somersaults with a half twist tuck. 3.8. Great stuff, Susanna. She went after the dive. So when you're doing those dives to get the rotation moving, you see the arms above the head. It's almost like you're throwing a soccer ball. Got to use the ankles too. Good ankle pop to get the height off the platform.
All right, 66.50 on her 4th round dive. All 4 added together so far, 223.40. So currently good enough for 7th. Another American standing on the platform. Please welcome Maria Smirnov.
So arm stand forward, 2.5 somersaults, half twist pike. for Maria. Yeah, Maria. She's trained so hard leading up to this competition. I think she's done more high dives than any other woman leading up to the event. Strong takeoff, got the rotation around, and a good entry for Maria.
Strong score there, 77.70 on her fourth round dive. Rolling it up into a 238.10, currently in third. Coming up next, 10 to go of 23 women from the Netherlands. It's Jeannie van Katwijk.
Let's go, Jeannie. Gonna stand backwards this time. Reach the arms up with 3 somersaults with 1 twist pike. So with a high degree of difficulty dives, you need a lot of power on takeoff, and to generate rotation on those dives, you need to bend your legs, get the arms up quick to get the rotation moving. Just a little miscalculation in the middle and the end of the dive.
62.70 on that fourth dive. 235.35 will be her total after 4 rounds, currently in fourth. Here we go with a big dive coming up, Joey Zuber. From Canada, Amy Harrison.
Okay, let's step it up a notch. Big DD, 4.4 and 4 somersaults front with a half twist in the pike position. Wow. Did you see the takeoff? She has to run towards the end of the platform. Why did she do that? To help generate height and rotation to complete the massive task of 4 somersaults in the pike position. Big DD, how does she fare with the scores?
Well, it paid off right there, 85.80 on that dive, so 265.60. So Harrison now moving into the top spot. The young Aussie coming up next. Please welcome Emily Chinook.
All right, Ems. In with 3 somersaults with a half twist the tuck position. Emily Chinook with such a strong takeoff. Coming from the national team of Diving Australia. So powerful, so fast.
Moving into fourth place with that, 58.90 on that particular dive. Adding all 4 together, 242.30. Good enough for fourth place at the moment. Emily, 12 to go of 23 women in this fourth round. As we go to the top now, from Brazil, Patricia Valente.
What's Patricia got? Forward 3 somersaults with a half twist in the pike position. Patricia looking finely tuned with that dive. Good strong takeoff. Again, good position in the air, so the judges are looking at the execution, not the degree of difficulty. Here's the scores.
Good enough for the leading score so far, 74.80 after 4 rounds, 278.90. See what this next diver can pull off from Germany. Please welcome Iris Schmidbauer.
All right, degree of difficulty 4.2. Performing an arm stand now. Back 2.5 somersaults, 2 twists, pike position. Those arm stand dives, you have to get the balance just right, and then you have to use your arms, bend those arms, and get the pop and the push. Very athletic diver, or high diver, I should say. Well done, Iris.
It'll move her into the top spot. 84 on that dive, 293.05 after a roll-up of scores from all 4 rounds. Now coming up from the United States of America, 15th to go of 23 women. Here is Ellie Smart.
Give it up for your girl, Ellie, from the US of A. Back 2 somersaults with 4 twists with a free position. So dizzy watching that immense number of twists. 4 twists in total. A brand new dive debuted for Ellie Smart. Big degree of difficulty, 4.4. Throwing down the gauntlet. Big hug to the safety divers. She's relieved.
A lot of 7s in there. She'll keep 2 of them in a 6.5. 90.20 on that dive, breaking the 300 mark, 302.10. Now the top score to beat Ellie Smart of the United States. Coming up next, 16 to go, 23 women in this 4th round. It is the final round for the women before we get into the men. From Italy, Alisa Cassetti.
All righty, Alyssa. What do we got? Forward, 3 somersaults, half twist in the pike position. Loving the line and that last part of the dive as she's coming in for the approach for the entry. Arms laid nice and tight against the body. So the sport of high diving has got to look nice and clean and aesthetic in the air. And she is stylish, just a slight miscalculation at the end of the dive.
Judges will give her a 51 flat on that 4th round dive, so adding all 4 together, 264.20 for Cassetti of Italy. Next to drop in from Colombia, Maria Paula Quintero.
Okay, Maria. Let's rotate inwards with 3 somersaults with a half twist in the tuck position. Team Colombia likes it. Plenty of cheers from their side. Wow. Aerial awareness is key in this sport. You have to really feel your way in the air with those type of dives, feeling what's up and what's down. And down it went. Pretty good scores.
Yeah, 7 judges weigh in, puts her into second place with an 81.7 on that dive. Rolling all 4 up together, 297.05 for Maria Paula Quintero of Colombia. Getting into the top 6 women after 3 rounds of diving from the United States of America, Maylee Carpenter is next.
The more somersaults and twists you do, you notch up the degree of difficulty. 4.3, back 3 somersaults, 2 twists in the pike position for Maylee Carpenter. Maylee Carpenter, such a remarkable all-round athlete, great climber, great gymnast, show performer, such as the House of Dancing Water in Macau. But what a powerhouse of a high dive up. The scores there. So total, 79.55 for Maylee Carpenter. Moving into second position there behind her counterpart, Ellie Smart. Maria Paula Quintero sitting in third currently. Alrighty, representing Australia, give it up for Xanthia Panisi. What Xanthia got, back 3 somersaults with 1 twist in the pike position. Xanthia Panisi, one of the hardest working divers in the field. A lot of these athletes, 10 sessions a week, love the takeoff, like the flight. Pretty good entry, a round of 7s for Xanthia Panisi. Total score 83.60. Xanthia Panisi now sneaking into the lead ahead of Ellie Smart. Maylee Carpenter sitting in third currently. Coming down to the top 5 divers now. Representing Canada, ladies and gents, Simone Leathead. Look at the degree of difficulty, 4.0. In with 3 somersaults, half twist. Choosing to do pike position this time. A newcomer to the sport, loving how she really gets after the dive, throws as strong as she can, just a little short of vertical, and the scores,
72 on that fourth round dive for a roll-up of 296.60 after 4 rounds. So 5th place for Leathead of Canada. Still 3 to go, the top 3 after 3 rounds. Coming up next, with a strong score coming into this 4th round, as we look at the leaderboard now, Xanthia Panisi leading the charge right now, but here is Canada's Jessica Macaulay.
Hey folks, just as a reminder, 3 more divers to go to see who will be crowned champion here. Back to somersaults, the pike position, DD 4.0. It's ramping up. Fantastic, elegant lines, superb aerial awareness, understanding where she is in the air at all times, counting the somersaults as she goes by. What are the scores for Jessica Macaulay?
Wow, Macaulay with a 98 on that 4th round dive, 325.70. Moves into the number 1 spot. Panisi in 2nd. Ellie Smart of the United States now in 3rd place with a 302.10. And now we are coming down to the top 2 divers after 3 rounds of diving, folks. It's coming down to the wire. Let's give it up for all the ladies. And this next diver, Rhiannon Ifland of Australia.
For Rhiannon Ifland, we've got a back 3 somersaults, 2 twists in the pike position, DD 4.3. 2 more divers to go. The Australian powerhouse crushing the entry. Huge degree of difficulty. She gave it everything she's got on the takeoff. And how about the scores for Rhiannon Ifland?
Oh, a lot of 9s up there. She'll keep 2 of them and an 8.5. 113.95 on that dive. 263.85 after 4 rounds. Ifland now in the top position. So guaranteed a podium spot. Ifland and Macaulay. Panisi now in 3rd on the bubble. 1 diver remaining. And that from Canada, ladies and gentlemen, Molly Carlson.
Here we go. Last lady standing on the platform to cap off the World Aquatics High Diving Championship. DD 4.4. Forward 4 somersaults with a half twist, the pike position for Molly Carlson. What a competition! Coming down to the wire. The pressure as you stand on that platform, being the last diver in the field, knowing your results. Here we go!
Molly Carlson takes it, 121 on that dive, 374. Molly Carlson wins gold today here at the World Aquatics High Diving World Cup in Fort Lauderdale. Rhiannon Iflin in second, Jessica McCauley winning the bronze. So it's Molly Carlson with a 374, winning gold. Rhiannon Iflin of Australia, the silver. Jessica McCauley of Canada with the bronze.
What a thrilling competition that was, hey folks. That came down to the last dive. Wonderful stuff by these remarkable women diving from 66 feet. Xanthi Panisi in fourth, Ollie Smart in fifth. Another American right behind her, Maylee Carpenter in sixth. Maria Paula Quintero seventh. Ladies and gents, a big round of applause for all of these incredible women diving here today. What a show. So folks, shortly we'll have the fourth and final round for the men. And after the men's fourth round, we'll have the medal ceremony for the women and the men.
Hey, we have some legendary divers in the house, Joey.
Tell me.
And some swimmers, some divers, some great divers. First of all, Orlando, come on out here. Orlando, I'm just recognizing some legendary divers and swimmers that are here today, folks, because it's good to recognize. I'm sure there's more and more out there, but there's a few that I spotted in the crowd, including 9-time champion in the Red Bull Cliff Diving World Series, Orlando Duque, the legend, is here. Thank you. Doing a great job directing and helping out with our technical committee. Thanks, Orlando. Hassan, you're here too. Hassan, legendary diver. There's all kinds of legendary divers here today. And also we have here 3-meter synchro silver medalist from 2016 Olympics. Sam Dorman is here, right here. There's Sam. Silver medal in 2016 at the Olympics. 10-meter silver medalist from 1992, won a bronze in 1996. Scott Donnie's here. He's got a tattoo with the Olympic rings on his arm. And I'm pretty stoked to meet this guy. I've been following this guy my whole life. 2 Olympic gold medals in 1968, 7 gold medals, 7 world records. The greatest performance of all time at the 1972 Olympics. Mark Spitz is here. Mark Spitz in the house. Yes. Awesome. I'm sure many, many more legends I'll see along the way, but I just wanted to recognize the gentleman here. And of course, Joey Zuber, legend. Just a legend in general. Even if he's in our dove, he's just a legend. Great stuff. Mark Spitz is here.
Pretty cool, huh?
Spitz is right there.
I didn't realize. That was awesome. No, it's just great seeing all these legendary athletes here, appreciating the competition. So we thank them for coming out and watching, showing their support. Trace Worthington sneaking a little photo opportunity there. Hey, what's wrong with that? It's Mark Spitz. So the athletes making their way up the tower, 9 feet high. for the optional dive round.
All right. Some fun stuff in between rounds. Congratulations to the women. Great competition. The award ceremony coming up after the men. As we are getting set to go now for the men's competition. You guys ready for the fourth and final round for the gentlemen?
Come on, folks. The fourth and final round for the World Aquatics High Diving World Cup. We are set. Pay attention to the difficulty of the dives to come in this round. You will be impressed.
Choi Byung-hwa from Korea will kick things off. And those who just joined us, look way, way, way up there. That platform, 27 meters, 90 feet off the water. We're going to see some big stuff. This is the optional round dive, Joey, and that means what?
Crazy stuff.
Crazy
it's going to
stuff.
get crazy,
Yeah, crazy
wild.
stuff.
No, but I'm serious. You wait to see what is in store. These athletes pushing the boundaries of the sport. Okay, ladies and gents, let's kick off the fourth and final round for Byung-hwa Choi from Korea.
Choi.
Forward 3 somersaults with 1.5 twists in the pike position. Fist pump in the air for Choi. Big hug with the safety divers. Doing an important job down there, splashing the water, keeping everybody safe. The scores for Choi Byung-hwa.
So he'll have a 49.40, 145.05. So those who just joined us, 7 judges. The 2 high scores and the 2 low scores are tossed. And then the remaining 3 that they'll keep added together, then multiplied by the degree of difficulty. That's where they're getting the total. As we go to the top now for our second diver on the men's side of 29, it is Jonas Broksted Madsen of Denmark.
Jonas with an inward 3 somersaults with a half twist pike. As we mentioned earlier, it's a very tough impact. A lot of these athletes travel around the world in some natural locations and pool environments like this. So some environments have much denser water, much harder impact, 10 G-forces. Total score 55.10 for Jonas Broksted. Moving on to our next diver, representing Germany, Tim Tiesing. Tim will stand forwards, put his arms above his head to generate rotation to pick up speed for 3 somersaults with a half twist in the pike position. So we have many different types of high diving and cliff diving events around the world. Sometimes we've had events from waterfalls, from cliff faces in Hawaii, the birthplace of cliff diving, Lilikawa and King Kaikili, the rite of passage. Okay, the total points for Tim, 45.90. Once again, the judges looking at the execution of the dive. And the scores are multiplied by the degree of difficulty. Our next diver on the platform, representing Japan, Kyohei Arata. All right, buddy, what you got? In with 3 somersaults with a half twist in the pike position. And then hopefully we get to see Kyohei dive in front of his home crowd in the World Championships, Fukuoka, Japan. And that World Aquatics competition will take place in July. As you can see, just quite a big over-rotation. His feet coming forwards and scooping through the water, kicking up some splash. Total points, 38.00 for Kyohei Arata.
All right, coming up next from Canada, Michael Foisy. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Foisy. Yeah, that's good.
It's a very transparent water here, very blue. That's why the safety divers are splashing the water as much as possible. The athletes can see the surface and judge the entry at those immense speeds, 53 miles per hour. So vocal, the Canadian team over there, getting right behind all of their athletes. Fantastic stuff. That's quite a big difference when the athletes jump from 20 to 27. They all say, wow, I cannot believe the acceleration curve.
Foisy with a 70.20. So Foisy with a 232 flat. So that is his score after 4 rounds of diving. Heading back to the top of the 27-meter platform, 90 feet above the water, Mr. Owen Weymouth.
Owen showing off the arm stand forward, 2.5 somersaults, 2.5 twists in the free position. Owen caught me off guard there.
I know.
I was like sort of announcing his dive, and then he was off the platform.
I would be too if I was on my hands.
Yeah. I didn't think he wanted to deal with the fear factor up there for any longer. Great scores for Owen Weymouth.
Wow, 108.10 on that 4th round dive. So adding all 4 together, 291.50 for Weymouth. Coming up next, 7 to go of 29 men. From Mexico, it is Diego Rizzo Rivero.
All right, folks, we call this the triple-triple, back triple-triple, 3 somersaults with 3 twists in the pike position. So Diego's working in a show in Taiwan currently with a pretty decent high dive, so he's able to maintain his high diving skills. He tried out a new dive and entered that in the competition yesterday, but he did over twist in the bottom there. Bit unfortunate.
So you have 237.40. If you're looking at the leaderboard and confused, Konstantin Popovic, after 3 rounds of diving, still remains the leader. That means he has enough points to be in first place, even though we're in the 4th round of diving. So up next, we have from New Zealand, young Braden Rumpet.
All right, let's bust out the back triple again. Here we go, Braden. Boom! Braden Rumpet. Yeah, boy. And I love watching this guy train. When he comes into the pool, he's like, I'm going to do this, do this. He gets in, gets the job done.
Judges
Beautiful.
liked it. A lot of 7s up there, Joey, across the board. He'll keep 3 of them, 96.6 on his 4th round dive. So adding all 4 together, very solid. And from Switzerland, coming up now, it is Jean-David Duval coming into this round with 188 points so far.
And Jean-David with the back triple double this time. So back 3 somersaults, double twist pike. That's a tough dive to get the speed right. It's another dive where you can easily over-rotate. So you don't want to go too strong. There are some dives where you've just got to give it everything you got. This one requires a little more finesse. The points, 53.30 for Jean-David Duval. Once again, Konstantin still holding the lead.
Yeah, Jimeno in 2nd, Hunt in 3rd. They're still yet to dive their 4th round, so 18th place so far, 241.60. The roll-up after 4 for Duval of Switzerland. German diver coming up next, Manuel Halbisch.
All right, Manuel. Standing forwards, 3 somersaults, 1.5 twists in the pike position. Now, the sport of high diving, because of the immense speeds and the impact, we can't train all that much. You can only do about 4 to 5 high dives in a day. And all the athletes the next day, they really feel it. You've got to be physically strong, so just a bit of a break of a position, causing the deductions from the judges, so bending the knees a bit at the end. 51.30 for Manuel Halbisch.
Coming up next, another Swiss diver, the very strong and powerful Matthias Appenzeller.
Coming into the arm stand, slow and steady, needs that balance just right. Arm stand forward, 2.5 somersaults, 2.5 twists in the free position. Can you believe it? Those arm stand dives. He must have nerves of steel up there. Be very, very, very steady. And when it's windy, it makes it all the more difficult. Scores for Matthias Appenzeller, 73.60. Beautiful warm weather here in Fort Lauderdale. The 3 times Olympian in the sport of diving from Colombia, Victor Ortega Serna. Living in Miami right now, so he can prepare for the competition. Back 3 somersaults, 2 twists in the pike position. Now, Victor coming from Olympic diving. Now, you'd think it would be super easy to make the transition to high diving. No, it is not. It takes a long time to get it right. At the end of the dive, you saw Victor putting his arms above the head, stretching it up, putting the air brakes on to slow it down. But once again, when your arms above the head, deduction, maximum score 4.5 from each judge. So total score there, 26.65 for Victor. Bit of a shame, but nonetheless, we're proud of his achievements. Where's he from? He's from the United States of America. Ladies and gents, give it up for Andy Jones. The triple, back, 3 somersaults, 3 Andy. Yeah! Andy Jones. He also worked in Las Vegas in the infamous O Show. And he's actually done a front 5.5 somersaults in the past. And it's pretty funny watching him when he came out of the water. He was like, whoa, that's a lot of flips. And that's a lot of scores. Bunch of 8s from the judges, 110.40 for Andy Jones. Now he pulls into the lead. Plenty more divers to come, though. Next up on the platform, from Italy, Davide Baraldi. Back triple double, back 3 somersaults, 2 twists for Davide. Davide just moving the safety divers into position. See the surface. Love the sequencing. Coming from the first somersault with a twist, 1.5 twist. Then you've got to stop the twist nice and smoothly into the pike, and then coming around for the control maneuver as the athletes hurtle towards the water. Decent scores, 82 flat for Davide Baraldi. All right, folks, you ready for a little action? Stepping up the degree of difficulty. Look at the board here. DD equals 5.4, and that equals forward 4 somersaults with 2.5 twists for the American Nate Jemison. So Nate's going to do a running takeoff here. He'll mark out his approach, run towards the end of the platform to pick up the speed he needs for this dive. Busy, busy, busy from start to finish. Doing the pike in the first somersault, the twist in the middle, then he has to re-pike. A lot of the athletes say that dive gets so heavy when you're coming out of the twist into the pike. It's all abs, it's all strength and force. 75.60 for Nate Jimison. Second position right now, Andy Jones holding strong in first. But plenty more divers to come. Hey ho, he's from Mexico. Ladies and gents, give it up for Sergio Guzman. Loves a good somersault. He loves a reverse. 4 somersaults in the tuck position. You have to be so patient with that dive. You got to pick the exact moment to kick out of it. Sergio really tries to count the somersaults. He'll see the water 3 times before he kicks out. And let's move our eyes to the scoreboard. 101.25 for Sergio Guzman, sneaking ahead of Andy Jones. 356.65 for Sergio Guzman currently. Hey folks, where's he from? He's from the US of A. Give it up for Matt Cooper. Back 4 somersaults, 2 twists in the pike position. Good DD as well, 5.1. He put the work in on the takeoff, and that helped him get enough rotation to complete that whopping 4 somersaults with 2 twists. Great entry. Okay, we're going to take the 7s, the 3 7s, add them together, times it by 5.1. That'll equal 107.10 for Matt Cooper. Now, bumping ahead of Sergio Guzman to be in the lead. Now this is a dive I like to watch. He's from Mexico, the youngster, Jolot Martinez Cabral. Check it out. He's going to stand forwards, move forwards, rotate back towards the platform, reverse 2 somersaults, 4 twists in the free position. Plenty of action here. Okay, folks, so from time to time, some things don't always go to plan. And so twisting dives, it's a little tricky sometimes. Hard to orientate yourself. Got a great team of EMTs on board and rescue divers. So we'll just take a little short pause, but we've got all the procedures in place. Like in all sports, from time to time, the occasional incident does happen, whether it be rugby. So a round of applause for Jolot. Seems like he's going to be fine. Once again, sport only for the brave. So a lot of respect for Jolot, and I know the high diving community really cares about one another. Round of applause to Jolot. He looks okay.
Yeah.
Tough kid. Wow.
Nice job. Very tough kid. And to our safety crew and safety divers, let's give it up for them. Doing a great job out here. Thanks, guys. All right, continuing on with the competition. Getting set to go as the safety divers get back into place. Good job, guys. Italy's Andrea Barnaba is next.
Okay, Andrea, back 3 somersaults with 2 twists in the pike position. Take your time.
Whoa.
Great job, Andrea. Great dive after the reset. Good concentration. Holding it together. Pretty good for the youngster. Wow, great scores.
Oh, great score, Joey. 98.40 on that 4th round dive. Rolling up all 4 together, 263.80. Putting young Barnaba into 2nd place behind American Matt Cooper. Getting down to the wire, folks, into the top 10. Next up from the United States of America, it's James Lichtenstein.
All right, Pete. Look at the scoreboard. DD 5.3. It's not 1 somersault, it's not 2, it's not 3, it's not 4, it's 5 somersaults back in the tuck position. Wow. That made me dizzy watching the dive.
5.
His aerial awareness is just outstanding, understanding what's up and what's down, and down it went. Big scores for James Lichtenstein.
Going down is a 135.15 when you throw 5 somersaults there. 409.75 is the grand total for James. He moves into the lead, breaking that 400 mark. Matt Cooper in 2nd, Barnaba in 3rd.
If you're breaking the 400, you're doing well.
Wow, having his work cut out for him is the Brit, the strong diver named Aiden Heslop.
All right, folks, the highest degree of difficulty in the world being performed currently, DD 6 point ridiculous. Add another 6 to it. Back 4 somersaults and 4 twists in the pike position. Aiden Heslop. I mean, he had to dig so deep, throw his arms up as hard as he can, jump as hard as he can to complete that whopping number of somersaults and twists. Ladies and gents, you just witnessed the most difficult dive in the world.
The judges give him a 115.50 on that dive. 394.80 puts him into second place behind James Lichtenstein of the United States.
This is crazy. Wow.
Great men's competition brewing here as we get down to the final divers. Coming up next from Romania, it's Katlin Preda.
All right, let's style it up. Katlin Preda, back 4 somersaults with 2 twists to pike position. Above the 5.0 mark, 5.1 DD. Whoa, what just happened there? What a piece of magic from Katlin Preda. Just dynamic, explosive, elegant.
There you go.
A bunch of 9s on the board.
137.70 on that dive. 417.30 with all 4 added up. Preda now in the lead.
Pushing the limits now as we work our way towards the end of the field.
Coming up next from Colombia, it is Miguel Garcia.
Got his new dive here. Forward 3 somersaults with 3.5 twists in the free position. Do the running takeoff. Triple twist in the beginning, pike in the middle, Barani at the end. We are set. Beautiful, clean, mechanical twist at the beginning. Miguel is also a diving coach. He said, you know what, I'm going to put that to the side and concentrate on my high diving to improve it. That's a brand new dive for Miguel Garcia.
Judge 7 liked it with an 8. He'll keep a couple 6.5s. So actually 3 of them 95.55 on that dive. 4th place with a 376.05. Only a few divers remaining in this men's 4th and final round, and then the women's medals presentation followed by the men's. But right now, it's all about USA's David Coulthuri.
Yeah. Here's your boy, David. Reverse 2 somersaults with 4 twists in the free position. Let's twist it up. David Coulthuri, the former Purdue diver, the fist bump, your boy from the United States of America. Whoa. Fast twist, fast acceleration, but what matters is the judges right now.
We got a heater going on. He's got a 9 in there, a couple of them. He'll keep 3 8.5s, 117.30, rolling up into a 403.80 for David Coulthuri of the United States, currently in third place. Remember the medal ceremony to follow. The top 3 women, if you're out there, the top 3 women, you know who you are. Come assemble, please, here momentarily, right behind where Joey and I are standing, right underneath the VIP area, because we're going to get underway with the medal ceremony following the men. So, ladies, make your way over here in the next couple minutes. But right now, we're heading to the top. We're getting down to the top 5. From Mexico, Johnny Paredes.
As Trey said, 5 more divers to go. Forward 4 somersaults with 1.5 twist the pike position. He's going to use a run up to crank up the rotation.
Whoa!
How about that? I love how that's sequenced as well. Somersault, twist the middle, get back into that pike, work hard, dig hard for scores like that. Bunch of 8s and a 9 also for Johnny Paredes.
119.85 on that dive, 408.05 for Jonathan Paredes. Puts him into third place. Paredes still holding down the top spot. Liechtenstein of the United States in second. Paredes now in third with 4 divers remaining. And that being of Ukraine. Please welcome Alexei Prigorov.
All right, Alexei. Similar dive to Johnny Paredes, but let's add a twist this time. Forward, 4 somersaults, 2.5 twist the pike position. Also going to use that running takeoff. Alexei Prigorov working it hard right to the very end. Bronze medalist in 3-meter synchronized diving, 2008 Olympics. Impressive degree of difficulty. How about the scores?
They'll give him a 105.30 on that 4th dive. Joey, 394.40. So Prigorov settling for 6th place at the moment with 3 divers remaining. Paredes still now in the top spot and the one to beat. And there's 3 divers very capable of getting big scores, including your next man from France, Gary Hunt.
The reigning World Aquatics high diving champion. The triple quad, the first person in the world to do this dive. Back 3 somersaults, 4 twists in the free position. Degree of difficulty 5.2.
Where'd he go? Where'd he go?
A masterpiece from the Master Blaster. Gary Hunt, 10 times Red Bull Cliff Diving World Series champion. The most decorated athlete in the field. Huge scores, a bunch of 9s for Gary Hunt.
Wow, the Master Blaster. I love that. 144.0, folks, on that 4th dive. A total 438.15. Your new leader from France, Gary Hunt. Preda in second. Liechtenstein still holding on to a podium position. 2 divers remaining. And next up, pressure's on for Spain's Carlos Jimeno.
Here we go, folks. The last 2 divers on the platform. Let's get ready for Carlos. Back 5 somersaults in the tuck position. 5.3 DD.
Don't forget, top 3 women make your way over here very shortly. Ree, Molly, Jess.
No way! No way with the pressure on, with a dive like that. 5 somersaults, it comes down to split-second decisions. Everybody's eagerly awaiting the scores to drop. Yeah!
Moves into the number 1 spot. He's got a 10 in there. 2 9.5s and a 9. 148.40. 454.40. Carlos Jimeno, now your leader.
Dropping into first place in spectacular fashion. Massive score, 454.40. But what do we got?
1 diver remaining, folks, in this men's competition. Leading after all the rounds coming into this 4th round, Romania's Konstantin Popovic.
Konstantin Popovic with a whopping degree of difficulty of 6.0. Arm stand back, 3.5 somersaults, 3 twists in the pike position. I hope you're ready, folks. Let's do this. Whoa, what a competition this has been. The suspense is just killing us. To wait the results.
Will that overtake the top spot? He does it. 159 for Konstantin Popovic. 473.90. Popovic winning gold. Jimeno the silver, and Gary Hunt of France with the bronze.
What an epic score, 473.90 for Konstantin Popovic, breaking a World Aquatics record. And Carlos Jimeno taking his first ever podium. He's had a bunch of fourths, and he's finally made it up there. Great stuff. Third place, the legend himself, Gary Hunt. So Konstantin Popovic, Carlos Jimeno, Gary Hunt. Well, you got to get ready for the podium, people. Catalin Preda, fourth position. Euro-American. James Liechtenstein in fifth place. Jonathan Perez, sixth. Fine performance there. David Kulturi, seventh. Aiden Heslop, eighth. From Ukraine, Alexei Prigorov in ninth. So folks, How about a big round of applause for all of these incredible athletes here today? Every year, it is just remarkable how the athletes are improving in terms of the execution and stepping up the degree of difficulty. So shortly, we are going to have the women's medal ceremony. So stand by, folks. Don't go anywhere. Let's cheer on our athletes. Once again, thank you to all of the volunteers, to USA Diving, World Aquatics Technical High Diving Committee, the Foundation for USA Diving, all of the sponsors on board that has made this competition possible. We hope all the people watching the live stream have enjoyed this competition as much as us on site. But the atmosphere has been electric. My hairs are standing on end. What a thrilling competition for both the women and the men. It came down to the wire.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
A lot of thanks. How about a big thanks to Olivia Rosendahl? How about her?
She has been.
I think she burned like 9 billion calories running around this whole event. So, Olivia, you're the best. Thank you.
She's the one running around like a little meerkat, bolting as fast as she can behind the dive towers.
Well done, guys. Beautiful talk.
The awards presentation momentarily. Top 3 women, top 3 men.
So folks, don't go anywhere. We've got the medal ceremony coming up in just a few moments.
Getting set for the awards presentation here shortly. Jason, I'll have you give me the cue, I guess, right? Okay. Whenever you're ready. Getting things set up. Very successful World Aquatics High Diving World Cup here in Fort Lauderdale. Impressive competition, one of the best I've seen in a long time, Joey Zuber. It was fantastic. The level of diving, and with the World Championships coming up, holy smokes.
Yeah, if that's an indication of what's in store, I mean, what a banger to kick off the season.
All right. The medal ceremony about to go down. We'll do a quick interview with the women's winner after that, and then the men's medal ceremony. Getting our cameras set up. We are live. Want to make sure the viewers at home capture all the action. All right, let's get underway with the medals presentation. So Fort Lauderdale, please welcome the medal ceremony for the women's high diving competition. The medals will be presented by Dale Newberger, Treasurer of World Aquatics, accompanied by Patty Miller, President of USA Swimming. On the women's side, the winner of the bronze medal, representing Canada, Jessica McCauley. Winner of the silver medal, representing Australia, Rhiannon Ifland. Winner of the gold medal and women's champion representing Canada, Molly Carlson. Now please stand for the national anthem of Canada. Fort Lauderdale, make some noise for your World Cup medalists. All right, the men's medalists, the top three. You know who you are. I hope you know who you are. Come on back. Quick women's interview. Sorry, Joey.
Molly Carlson, what a competition. I mean, last year you're going head-to-head with Rhiannon Ifland. I mean, what did it take to bring home the win? I mean, it must have taken a lot of hard work, right?
I'm extremely happy. I think my coach and I worked really, really hard in the off-season to learn 3 out of 4 new dives. So to put them all down here was very exciting.
Molly, we're just so impressed with the competition. I mean, so did you step up the degree of difficulty? Was that the plan?
I did, and it was terrifying, but I'm really proud of myself.
Well, you got a great facility back in Montreal. So, ladies and gents, round of applause for your champion, the World Aquatics high diving champion, Molly Carlson.
All right, now it's time for Fort Lauderdale to welcome the men for their medal ceremony for this high diving competition. Our presenter, Dale Newberger, the treasurer of World Aquatics, and also Marine Crows from Pan Am Aquatics. Make your way out. Thank you very much, guys, for your presentation. Once again, Dale Newberger and Marine Crows, president of Pan Am Aquatics. Do we have our top 3 men back here? Top 3 men, Costa, Carlos, Gary, quickly, we're live. Gary Hunt. Need you, my brother. There he is. All right, now we're ready for the men's medal presentation. Dale Newberger, treasurer of World Aquatics, the presenter, and then of Marine Crows, president of Pan Am Aquatics. You make your way out as the medals and awards presenters. As we are now set for the men, winner of the bronze medal, representing France, please welcome Gary Hunt to the podium. Gary Hunt. Thank you, Dale. Thank you, Maureen. Winner of the silver medal on the men's side, representing Spain, Carlos Jimeno. Winner of the gold medal and men's champion, representing Romania, Constantine Popovic. Now please stand for the national anthem of Romania. Fort Lauderdale, make some noise for your men's World Cup medalists. All right, we'll do a quick interview with our champion, Costa, getting it done today. Tough men's competition. Gary Hunt, Carlos Jimeno throwing it down.
Costa, what a performance. And last year we had a bit of a setback with an injury. And then just to come back and dive that well, I mean, how do you do that? Coming back from injury and performing that well, I mean, I'm just astounded with that performance here today.
Well, I'm glad you brought it up because, last year I didn't finish as I wanted. So, yeah, I trained very hard, probably the hardest in my life, just to be better than ever.
And was the mental aspect, so a lot of concentration and visualization and sort of picturing yourself in this moment, right?
Exactly, yeah. Well, it's a lot of concentrations, very difficult dives. Last year I had the hardest list in the world. Now, not, but it's still one of the greatest there. And I feel like I got the rhythm right. And yeah, I just need to focus at the highest level.
And also understand, is it your intention to then actually try to participate in the Olympics in diving as well, if possible?
Well, you know, it's not the intention. You have to qualify there. I qualify for the World Championships in Fukuoka for 10 meters, so I will attend that. And if you make the final, that's your ticket for the Olympics. But it's a tough one. But yeah, I will give it all I got.
Well, super impressive. Dual athlete in diving and high diving. Ladies and gents, your champion, World Aquatics High Diving World Cup champion, Konstantin Popovic.
All right, congrats to Costa once again, the top 3 men, top 3 women in this World Cup competition. And right now we have a special recognition. I'd like to acknowledge one of the legends in the sport who's announcing his retirement. So come on out here, Mr. Alon Cole. Got news yesterday of this. Matthias Appenzeller is going to say a few words on behalf of your retirement. Actually, get up on the podium, dude. Come on.
As many of you know, it was not only a really amazing competition, but it was also the last competition for this true election from Luxembourg. You've not only been an opponent, you've been a role model for so many divers. You've been a drinking buddy for some beers. You were a coach, you were everything. You helped so many people to stand on these platforms, and I think everybody just wants to thank you, and this is for you, Alain.
One of the OGs, Alain Cole.
All right, we're going to do an athlete photo as well, you guys. So just hang tight right on this side of the pool. So what is that? East side of the pool? No idea direction right now. I think so right now. Where I'm at, we're going to do a group athlete photo. If you guys don't mind hanging around for a quick one, I promise we'll get it done really quick. That was the request. So right over here, you guys, quick group athlete photo right by the bleachers. All athletes.